Welcome back to the Dabbler's Domain. Today we are back in Star Trek Adventures Captain's Log with Ambassador Danette Hnat. We are going to be making the starship on which we are serving on. I've done a little thinking in between the recordings of these videos, and I'm thinking we're going to do the same time frame as our previous character that I have sadly abandoned, and I think we're gonna make it set up to where those two characters meet up at some point. That way it doesn't feel like I'm abandoning third Vinland Iwa too much, and maybe the two ambassadors can do stuff. So we need to roll or select an era, so we will be rolling on the Next Generation era, because that should go back here and right here. So yeah, we want the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, lower deck. So this is kind of a post-Dominion War. Again, I'll have to go look up to make sure I get the dates absolutely correctly, but I don't know what I want to roll or what I want to be. So let's give ourselves some options. So let's go ahead and roll both of our dice here. We have a 20 and a 10. So we have a Steam Runner or a Nebula. And let's roll again. Give ourselves 4 to choose from. An Intrepid or an Ambassador. Okay, let's go ahead and look at those 4 ships since it's all in... We'll head on down to the Next Generation era, and let's look at the Ambassador class starship. So the Ambassador class was developed and launched in 2335, becoming indispensable for exploration assignments by Starfleet. Many of the engineering techniques, design ideas, and technologies created for the starship would continue to refine over the coming decades and become the basis for the Galaxy class. Okay, Intrepid. So of course this is the Voyager style starship. The Intrepid class was a symbol of the Federation Science Council's intent to have Starfleet return to its stated goals of exploration and science. The Dominion War would reduce the number of hulls constructed by the end of the war, and the return of the USS Voyager to Federation space in 2378 meant renewed passion for this space frame. So it's a scale 4. It is top of the line in the 2370s. Now I really do have to go check to see what year I was doing this in, or what started. I was doing the old playthrough in, but we might leave the Intrepid alone, I think. And right below it actually is our next possibility, which is a Nebula class. This is a scale 5 as well, so same as the Ambassador class. The initial design and production contracts for the Nebula class were awarded to Yoyodyne Propulsion Systems, the company, ensuring the best elements of the Miranda class were kept, such as the modularity of its systems. The Nebula would prove to be even more adaptable than the aging Miranda, but full-scale replacement of the older class would become impossible with the outbreak of the Dominion War. And this is, of course, post-Dominion War. I think the last character was about a year after, so maybe these nebulas came back around post, a year afterwards or so. Anyways, okay, and let's check out the last possible one based on what the dice has thrown, which is the Steam Runner class. Low mass and fast, the Steam Runner class filled multiple roles in Starfleet, including light escort, interceptor, electronic warfare, and surveillance/intelligence. The design consisted of an angular saucer for a primary hull containing all vital systems, and a detached secondary hull that was suspended between the starship's 2 warp nacelles. It is a scale 4, so it has pretty good computers, engines, sensors. So now that could be a possible one if we think about where this story is going to start right? We have our Klingon ambassadors being assigned to a starship, and it's post Dominion War. The Klingon Federation alliance is good-ish, right? I mean, they had that fall off during the war, and now they're building it back up. So maybe we're set to go look at maybe like the how to phrase it, right? Because the Cardassians kicked out all the Klingons and Maquis in that zone that they claimed was Cardassian space. So maybe we're trying to repopulate those. Maybe in some kind of treaty we get those back. By we, I mean the Klingons, and the ambassador is sent for that. And again, if I want to meet my old character, then we have to actually make it over into the other quadrant, because that ambassador is out there trying to smooth over stuff with the Dominion. So maybe the Klingons want to send a representative as well, and kind of the Federation is just being in between go-to kind of thing. That way, actually, and actually, if I think about it now, that Klingons don't have to waste their resources doing diplomatic missions when they could be out trying to rebuild and get their fighting strength back up, or just continue to grow. So I do think it's going to be a pick between the two, between the Steamrunner or the Ambassador. I need to give some thought real quick. So I did look back at the old characters, see which kind of ship they were on, and they are on a Nova class starship. And I did find out the stardate. So the first episode started in Stardate 53029.2. So going back and forth, so I'm thinking if they do end up meeting up, and that's the way we want to go, that our guy might want to be on a little bit more of a heavy hitter. So this one is a bigger scale. We might have more stuff. The engines are a little bit less than the Nova class. The weapons, though, are higher. The structure's a little bit stronger. Sensors are pretty good. So I believe we are going to go make sure that is in frame on the Ambassador. So it is a scale of 5. Let's see what we have here. We have 9 for comms. Computers are 10. Engines are 9. Sensors 11. Structures 10. And the weapons are 9. Command is a 3. 3. 2, 2. 3. 2. All right, so now that we have our class of starship, we need to figure out a simple ship trait. So, let's see what we got here. So, do we want it to be a legacy vessel, a prototype vessel, a flagship, temporarily displaced, mission pod, Frankenstein fleet, non-combatant, a warship, renowned, or Borg systems? Now, this is just me kind of going and thinking, if the Ambassador class starship was sort of a precursor to the Galaxy class, and by this time that we're going on, the Galaxy class is already kind of old. So this is an older ship, is my thinking. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a legacy vessel. So not like a super important legacy vessel, but like just an older, worn-in type. Maybe, an older, worn-in type, but maybe some upgrades. So yeah, I think we're going to make this a legacy vessel. All right, now it's time to choose our talents. So by now you have chosen what type of vessel you command. Now it is time to decide on your talents. Each ship in the captain's log can have a number of talents equal to its scale. So this is partially why I chose a bigger ship. Now I should be getting more talents. Some of these talents are inherent to the ship and are listed with the ship's common statistics. A full list of the starship talents can be found on page 170. You may select your desired talents below, roll on the random starship talents matrix on page 174, or get creative and invent your own. Once selected, these talents just like you treat character focuses. If the ship has a talent that applies to the current task and you roll equal to or below that ship's department number, immediately roll on the advantages matrix. That advantage is now activated and can be woven into the narrative. So we have a bunch of ship talents here. So below list of talents and their definitions, remember you can always make more to suit your needs. In some cases, you will note that some technology is not available until later years. However, you may adapt these as you wish if it works better for your game. A matrix is provided on page 174 in the event you want to randomly roll for ship talents. So let's head down there. So here we go. Starship Talent Matrix, which is where we're going to kind of pick, I think, 4 of the 5 talents, and then maybe I will get to pick my own. So to generate a random ship talent, pick one of the 3 matrices below, roll a d20, then pick a talent, or roll a d20 for that. So, okay, so maybe, yeah, okay. Sorry, thinking. So let's go ahead and get something. So 18. So we get to roll on the rare. And actually, maybe that will be it. This will be for if it's on a rare, or common, uncommon. And then this will be the number it is. So we will go to rare and 19. A tachyon detection field is our first one. And let's just go ahead and see what it says here. Does say 25th century or later. The ship is equipped with a field generator that projects a cloud of tachyons around it. While the field is active, the ship is notified of any cloaked vessels that are within or pass into its cloaked range. I had to look some stuff up. So we are around the year 2377 or so. So we are not in the 25th century. We are in the 24th. I don't think that matters, though, in the sense of how I'm thinking, right? The tachyon detection field, the ship, so we can find cloaked vessels. And maybe this is something that the ship has been fitted with temporarily. Cool. All right, let's get another talent. Oh, you know what? Let's... on loan? Question mark? Since it is an advanced apparatus. Okay, so 5. So we are in the common, and we have fast targeting systems. Fast targeting systems. The ship's targeting systems can lock weapons on targets much faster and more accurately than other ships of its class, giving it the edge in battle. Outstanding. Fast targeting systems. Alright, let's give us another one. Ooh, another rare. And 16, a saucer separation. That seems adequate. That's believable that we can have a saucer separation with our ambassador class. So we will definitely have that. Right. And the 4th one. You know what? I don't need... Oh, okay, I was going to say, man, this roller is doing us well, because that's another rare that we get to pick. But it's actually the same one that we just had. So, extensive shuttle bays. We're gonna drop down to a common, because we have 2 rares and a common, so let's give ourselves an uncommon. extensive shuttle bays. I believe that is pretty self-explanatory, but let's just go ahead and read what it has to say. This vessel's shuttle bays are large, well supplied, and able to support a large number of active shuttle missions simultaneously. So that can come in into play here. And let's go ahead. So with our last one, we're going to have more of a free choice, I think. So, I mean, I'm rolling, but okay. So we can either do improved reaction control systems, electronic warfare systems, a regenerative hull, diplomatic suites. That actually sounds... actually... Let's hold off on that. Automated defenses, or a cloaking device. We're not going to have a cloaking device. I know that... I think the Defiant had that on loan from the Romulans. They weren't allowed to use it in the Alpha Quadrant or the Beta Quadrant, but no. But let's look at diplomatic suites, because maybe that's why we're on this ship. Is that's what this ship is for. Diplomatic suites. Your ship has numerous high-quality staterooms for hosting VIPs, as well as briefing rooms and other facilities that allow the ship to serve as a neutral ground for diplomatic summits, trade negotiations, and similar functions. That actually is probably the smartest thing for us to pick. So we're going to go with that. We're going to go with diplomatic suites. And maybe we are one of many diplomats that are aboard for this mission. We're not the only one. And perhaps that's how we end up getting our other character into it, because we go in and pick him up at the end of his mission that we never got to see, and maybe we'll get to see it again, or I can weave it into the story. I like that. That's a good way. Okay, perfect. Okay, so assigning names and registries. All right, let's think about this and look some stuff up. So I'm here on Memory Beta, so not actually Memory Alpha. So, non-canon stuff, which is perfectly fine. Just trying to look at, and I realize that, a subclass of the Ambassador is the Excalibur. We have the Enterprise C as well, was a Ambassador class starship. So, because I'm trying to think of naming things, but they look to be sort of all over the place. Definitely, Norman, Seattle. I think I saw Madison, kind of places, but Wilson, Winslow. So it's also named after people. Norman, I guess, is a name too. So it looks like naming convention wise, we have kind of there's an ad playing behind my head. We have kind of the sky's the limit on what we want to name our ship. So that's good. Okay, now here on Memory Alpha, trying to think of what kind of registry I would want to be. So the USS Zhukov, which was active in 2369. We are 2377, I believe. So we have the NCC 62136. So we're probably looking at trying to get a registry, a little bit later. 26531. Okay, so we're probably looking at the 26s, right? So we want to be an registry NCC 26, I don't know, 438 perhaps. And as far as names go, since we have sort of whatever almost kind of thing we want, I'm gonna give it some more thought. All right, did some like trying to look around to try to think of names, since it seems like we have a bunch to choose from. And here's one that I don't think has been taken. And for some reason, when I was like looking up, since this is a diplomatic ship, really, right? And it's carrying all the diplomats and ambassadors, and that's its main mission. The legacy vessel, so it's a little bit older, but it's been upgraded to have, best targeting systems to defend itself. It's even got a tachyon detection field, to help find cloaked ships, to keep all these high-ranking and highly important VIPs safe. For some reason, this gentleman, James Bond himself, Pierce Brosnan, was listed on some website as a famous ambassador. I don't know, but let's do it. This is the USS Brosnan. Let's think that somehow in the future, maybe he does a bunch of good deeds, good work. I don't know. We're gonna name our ship after James Bond, right? So the USS Brosnan is the name of the ship. We have a registry of NCC 26438, and we can let's look and see if there's anything else we really need to do here. So if we look, we have selected our era, we have selected our ship class, we have assigned a trait by polity, so we have a legacy vessel. We have considered a unique trait. Choose a number of ship towns based on the scale and assign the name and registry. So we have here our ship that our ambassador, that our ambassador Jeanette Hnat is going to be assigned to. He is going to be one of many ambassadors on this ship as they patrol a post-Dominion War quadrants, whether it's the Alpha, Beta, or Gamma. Yeah, I always forget and get those confused. I apologize. And that's where we will, we're going to start it off. He's already going to be aboard. He's going to be transferred from a Klingon vessel onto the ship, and we'll make up some crew as we go, and enjoy the adventures of this ambassador. And I will make an effort to have our other ambassador, the third Vinli Iwa, our cybernetically enhanced Jem'Hadar, come into play, and these two will sort of coalesce, and we'll have it be set to where on my last playthrough I never really got that story going, but the Jem'Hadar ambassador will join after that story has completed, so that maybe once this one goes, we can go back and kind of fill in what happened to him and how he has kind of grown. And I think that will do it for today, or for this week maybe. Kind of plan on trying to release these once a week, get a little ahead of myself, and I think next time when I come to playing this, I will have start a base off of how we want to go, and then we'll just kind of make up the story as we go. So until next time, to all the dominant dabblers who have stayed till the end, I thank you so much, and we will see you next time. No, that's totally Galaxy Quest, right? By Grapplar's Hammer. No, Qapla'.